It's Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025. We have a very rare situation unfolding today, and our area is going to be affected by this. Anybody in the high risk needs to be very hyper weather aware, and this is a very dangerous situation if you're in the high. It's a very rare situation, like once or twice in a lifetime. Whenever you have a high, you know it's going to be rare. And then you have a big moderate risk, and we're in the moderate. I wouldn't be surprised to see the high come over us. It's probably not going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised to. And then we have a big enhanced risk, and you can see we already have tornado watches issued for this area. People that are affected by this area today will be familiar with a tornado outbreak that happened in 2021. There was widespread tornadoes, and this is comparable to that tornado outbreak. We have a big moderate risk, and that's what we had then. And then a high risk, we didn't even have a high risk then. So it's a very serious situation, and that is driven by a 30% chance of tornadoes within 25 miles of any given point. And we have the potential for EF3 or greater tornadoes in this area. And then even in the 15, it's still going to be, if everything turns out right, it still has the potential for a widespread tornado outbreak. And even in the 10, it's still a very serious situation in the 10. So if you're in any of these hashed risk areas, I would be very hyper weather aware, but especially if you're in the 15 or 30%. We do have a damaging wind and hail threat too, so if you're in this area, I would watch out for some pretty damaging winds. And then also we have a hail threat too. So if you're in any of these areas, it's not near as serious, but it's still something to watch out for: large hail and damaging winds. Here's what the radar could look like in the future. You can see we're seeing severe weather around 12 p.m. You can see we're already seeing the severe weather around 12 p.m. And then after that, you can see around 3 p.m. we really start to get the long track tornado threat. You can see we're already seeing discrete supercells, and if this happens, that's what would make this area under the gun for long track widespread tornadoes. And then even after that, we have a tornado threat for our area. In this area, we have a tornado threat around 9 p.m. for our area. And that is not the only threat. We have a moderate risk today for flash flooding. We're in that area, and we're going to see a very long period of severe weather and flash flooding. Widespread historic flash flooding is possible. And then tomorrow we have a moderate and high and slight and marginal risk. And if you're in the slight or the moderate or the high, I would watch out for widespread flash flooding, especially in the high. If you're in the high, we could see historic flash flooding and heavy rainfall. Even in the moderate, we're expecting some pretty bad heavy rain. We could see up to 10 inches Wednesday through Saturday, so it's not just a joke. Same thing with Friday, we're going to have widespread flash flooding, and Saturday we're going to have widespread flash flooding. And then let me go back to severe weather. Tomorrow we do have a severe weather threat, not near as concerning as today, but I wouldn't be surprised to see an upgrade to a 10 hashed risk of tornadoes in this area. We have a risk in our area too, so it's still something to be concerned about, but today will be way more concerning than tomorrow. And it doesn't stop there. We still have a slight risk in our area all the way from Texas to Illinois. We have a pretty big severe weather threat on Friday, so if you're anywhere in the slight risk, I would watch out for some pretty dangerous severe weather. But the biggest threat after today will be the flooding threat. And it still doesn't stop there. On Saturday, we have a severe weather threat too, and this one's looking pretty concerning for this area here. But even our area, we have a slight risk, so we need to take this seriously. But again, the flooding threat is really concerning, more concerning than the severe weather other than today. Finally, by Sunday, the stalled front goes away, and we then have severe weather for portions of Florida and Alabama and Georgia. It's too far out to really tell the severe weather threats, but right now, for the biggest tornado threat that's looking for me is on Saturday here. That's looking like the biggest tornado threat to me for Saturday. But then tomorrow we also have a tornado threat tomorrow too. But the biggest threat again is going to be today. And that is all the weather talk I have for today. Please subscribe to my channel and turn notifications on. That way you don't miss out on any new videos. We already have had 2 tornado reports, and we have some wind reports and hail reports too. And then we just got a new tornado watch issued for this area here. So we're already seeing a lot of severe weather, even though it's not even in the worst of the severe weather. David Powell will be going live with Weather and Wisdom, so subscribe to his channel and don't forget to watch his live stream today, because we have some really serious weather for Western Kentucky. So if you live in Western Kentucky, he'll be covering you live on YouTube. Goodbye. I'll see you in the next one.